Here we go.
You want to talk back? You in the right place. So
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
What?
What did you do?
Oh my God. Blog Talk Radio just pulled an okie doke on us. Hey, talk. Because I hit the go to the next episode and it didn't do what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, you went to the next episode, and that's the next episode after this show. And you won't be able to get it back.
We'll just start a new one.
Oh my God. People, we are live and in color. And this dude right here is electronically impaired.
Oh, I know you ain't talking.
Electronically impaired.
I know you ain't talking.
I don't care what kind of bed he has. He's got issues. He has issues. Oh my God.
Shut up, Jerry Taylor.
I can't believe you did that dumb. You know what? Come on, man. Come on. How long you been doing it? Hey, he's been doing this 12 years, people, and he ain't learned yet.
I know you ain't talking. I know you ain't talking.
He's been doing this 12 years. He started it.
But the reason why he only does StreamYard once a month is because he can only figure it out once a month.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's a special occasion when I jump on StreamYard. And that's because I'm doing mock draft each month. So when I do a mock draft, I go all the way live. When I'm not doing a mock draft, it's just another program. I got to make it special. So people will tune in and try to make it special. He's going live. He's doing a mock draft. Let's tune in.
It's not that special because I've been on those and he's somewhat wrong, but we'll see.
Yeah. You know what? 10 out of the 12 years, I have not been wrong.
Here we go.
Hey. The stats are what they are. You want to go with the positive or you want to go with the negative?
I know you ain't talking after I was saying that the other day.
Mr. Negative. Oh, what about the other 2 seasons? Oh, what about them?
Exactly. So when I talk about my baseball stats, like how I'm up in there, you're like,
let me ask you,
out of 12 years.
Where you at now?
No.
Where you at now?
I'm still third.
Oh, no. Before you were in second. Now you're in third.
Oh, well, yeah. All right. We're about to go live back on Blog Talk Radio. Check your email for the invite. Whoa, you scheduled a time studio.
We're live on
StreamYard. No, it says you cannot create more episodes, so I can't create it.
I told you that.
I was trying to go live, but it wouldn't let me.
I told you that.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. Let's go with this YouTube. I'm glad I scheduled through StreamYard on YouTube. We don't have
people forgive him because he know not what he does.
Now I'm gonna look at the camera for the rest of the show, right?
Oh my
JT
God.
is a problem.
I know why you did this. I know exactly why you did this. You know why?
Oh, no. I wanted this live for everybody to see and listen to because I was gonna. You want to do that? Okay. Hold my beer.
People, he's scrambling to now he's a blast from the way back past.
Excuse me.
Black from the way back past.
It's not a scramble. And
look at this.
I don't have to give this back.
Nice and
Jerry
shiny.
has to give his back.
Nice. And,
wait
a minute. I don't have. Wait a minute.
World heavyweight champion.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you something. Woo! Yes, upside down. You got issues today. That's all right. Let me ask you something here. If I happen to win this league again, which I said I was going to do I have to get it back? No. No.
If
I'm winning this back to back.
No, you're not.
People, I'm making it live and in color, and I'm letting you know right now I'm winning this back to back. And all those TSA service members, I thank you for your service, but you guys got issues. Service member issues. guys thinking know it all, and ready to talk bad on you, just for general principles. Don't have to be nothing. Just talking, just cackling. That's okay. Yeah, they're not in the real world. They're in their world.
Are you finished?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
This is my time to air on TSA. I do it live and on color, and I do it on
listen.
And I do
Wait
it
a
on
minute.
the chat.
I'm about to
I don't care.
I'm about to send them an invite.
Ain't nobody showing up because they ain't got the balls to show up.
Wait a minute. I want you to keep all that energy.
Ain't got the balls to show up.
Keep all that energy.
You know I do, man. You know I don't bite my tongue. I don't bite my tongue. Those guys got issues. They got issues. They got a lot of they have a lot of pettiness in them. Absolutely, a lot of pettiness. And it is what it is. I'm not saying I'm an end all to be all, but come on, brothers, come on, ready to down a brother in a minute, regardless of whatever his opinion is. Guys talking about workout pants. Come on, man. Come on, man. Workout pants. Come on.
Hey,
you know I'm right. You know I'm right.
And then they were talking about the draws and
whatnot. Come on, man. Come on. Are you serious?
I can't say nothing about that one.
Come on. That's the type of conversations that go on in that chat. Come on.
I'm about to send the invite right now.
Come on. Stop.
Oh my God.
Stop it. Workout pants. Are you serious? And you know I'm right because you smile. You see, you can't deny that.
Well, all I can say is the invite has been sent.
Oh God.
I don't know if anybody's going to jump in, but the invite has been sent.
Okay.
So, anything else you want to say about TSA?
Not at this present time that I can think of. But let's keep going because I will think of something. I will think of something.
Okay. All right. So I had this all set up too. God,
I bet you did.
God was like, don't be evil, Victor. So what I'm going to make you do is I'm going to give you this new feature on Blog Talk. It's going to confuse you for a hot second. And then you're not going to be able to do anything.
This is on purpose. What I'm doing, what I did is on purpose. I try to throw you off track, but that's okay. At least I'll let you know.
It's okay. Because I'm going to dog out the Houston Texans.
It won't be the first or last time, brother.
Listen,
it won't be the first or last time.
Houston's, you're right. It will not be the first or last time they go 0-17.
It ain't happening. Right. Wait a minute. I got a question for you. Before we get into this, I got a question for you. Who's likely to go or win the less games? The Houston Texans or the Detroit Lions?
Oh, Houston Texans.
Texans. You really think so?
Oh, I got two Benjamins on that.
No, we can just go one.
Then what?
We can go one.
Nah.
We go one.
What's it like?
If you want to go there, we can go one.
No,
if you don't want to go, wait a minute. Listen, if you want to go there, it's one. If you don't want to go there, keep pushing two.
Here's my offer. To you, Jerry.
I'm not listening to you because I know it's BS.
Just listen, Mister. Since you got, hold on. Since you got the current one that you,
I can't hear you. I don't care.
I can't hear you.
I cannot hear you.
But you can see me. You can see me. So here's the deal. The loser has to pay for the winner's portion of next year's Vegas fantasy. Let's go there.
Oh, hell no.
You know I can do it. But I got the balls to say it.
No, I don't know you can do it. Because if you could do it, you would have sent me the whole shit now.
No. I can pay for it all, but I didn't say I was going to pay for it all at once. But what I'm telling you is the loser of our bet will pay for the winner's portion of next year's draft.
Well, let me ask you something here. Let me go one more step.
Oh, hold up. Time out. I will not be here for that, so I can't go live next year.
Okay.
I just realized that.
You know, really?
Yeah, I'm not gonna be back till December, man.
From?
I cannot say that. Can I? No.
You can't say the date?
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, from. You said you won't be back until December. I'm saying from. Hello, can you get what I'm saying? From what date and that you're leaving, that you won't be back until December. That's what I'm asking you. I have to be more specific. I understand it. I'm talking to a military person. I understand. I got to be specific of what I say.
Well, all I can say is I will not be back for it. Unless I'm not one of the people going, which is probably rare since I'm probably one of the better people and in the senior position. So we'll see. But anyway, they don't want to hear you talk about anything in TSA. So anyway, let's get to it. Like I had the music, I had my sound queued up and everything.
And you had the block talk ready too. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh my God. Anyway, anywho,
I did have it. I just hit the wrong button. I just hit the wrong button. Okay?
You know. Guess what?
What?
I got two phrases, or three that fit what took place. I woulda, coulda, shoulda. I woulda, coulda, shoulda. Come on, man. Come on. You're done, son.
I should invite Ricky. I should see what Ricky doing. But yeah, we got almost 12 minutes into the show and we ain't got nothing tangible. So here we go. Let's do this.
Okay.
Since I don't have the music,
okay,
lemonade and stuff to play underneath.
Okay.
I'm gonna go straight into the breakdown for. I want to save Houston for last. I really do, but
whatever.
My thought process: if I save them for last, will you have enough juice?
Oh, come on, what? I have enough juice. I got juice for this whole show and something then some.
Or will you walk off like you did last week?
Well, it was an ignorant conversation. I had to walk off. I was getting nowhere, and it was an ignorant conversation, in my opinion. It was senseless. So a senseless conversation, no need to have.
They want us to go live in TSA.
How are you going to go live in TSA?
Huh?
How are you going to go live in TSA?
Well, not from this show. We would have to.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Come on, man. What do they think that all that? Come on, man. This is our show. You're gonna dictate. You're gonna dictate where it goes.
I know how to go live in TSA.
You're gonna dictate how this show goes. Come on, man.
No. It's okay. It's okay. I understand.
Of course, because you've been part of TSA in the past, so you go along with this BS. Come on, man. Come on. You want to come on this show? Come on this show. Come on to TSA. What?
No,
I'm Kevin Hart. What? Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can't control what Jerry.
No, you can't control me. Not when it comes to them. Come on, man. Stop.
Jerry is just he's on his.
I'm heated, man. I'm heated.
He's off of his
and the fact these guys are intent on not letting me win. And I understand that, no problem. But I mean, they have a serious problem because I talk so much shit and I can back it up because I won last year and I can back it up. They don't like it. They don't like it, and now they're going to try their best not to let it happen again. That's okay, because I'm going to work my magic as best I can. And I see the forces I'm dealing with, people. The forces I'm dealing with, and he knows that.
Listen,
And he knows that.
ladies and gentlemen, I will help them eliminate
Yeah,
Jerry.
see, that's what I'm talking about.
Because-
See, because you know why? You know why,
Because-
people? Because he's been a member of TSA.
No, that ain't why.
He's got
That
that.
ain't why.
Of course, he's got that. He's got that mentality. He's
No,
got
that's
that
it.
mentality.
That's not
Come
it.
on, man. Stop.
That's not it. It's because Jerry loves to run his trap
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. But you know what? You know what? And I learned this a long time ago, and you should know it. Part of fantasy football is talking trash. Part of fantasy football.
He talks it
talking
all
trash.
the time.
And these
So
guys
either
can't
he's
take
living
it. These
or
guys,
he's-
including him, can't take it. They
Oh,
hope
no,
they take it personal. They take it personal. They take it personal. And you know what I'm talking about. No, brother. No. That's
I
6
ain't got
years.
to give it back.
That's 6
I
years
ain't got
old.
to give it back.
That's 6 years old. This is present day. That's
I ain't
6
got to
years
give it
old.
back.
This is
But
present
if
day.
you
I don't
wanna
have to
check
give this
my
back if I win it again. I don't
If
have
you
to
want-
give this back if I win it
That's
again.
an if. That's an if. But just like
And
every title
this guy, and let me tell you,
in
people,
history,
when
I'm
you
the champ.
when you start pulling trades off and negotiating with people with good trades, not bad trade, good trades,
Nah,
but because the fact I gained players that were advantageous and helped my team. This guy right here, just typical TSA, had to point out.
no, this is typical Victor. It's typical Victor, not TSA.
Yeah, typical Victor. Oh, you can't do that. You're getting a better team than anybody else. You can't do that. Come on, man.
I
It's
advise
women.
people.
Oh,
My
stop.
job is to advise
That's
and
crying.
give as much information as
That
possible
was crying.
to people.
That was crying. And everybody,
that's my job.
anybody, and no, it's not. Anybody and everybody have the chance to see everybody's team before they do a trade. And once the trade is consummated, Mr. Victor said, "Why did you do that? You just stacked his team. Why did you
I
do
didn't
that?"
say it like that.
Yes, you
but
did.
It was
Yes, you did.
similar.
Well,
No,
to
it's
paraphrase what I.
Well, no,
what
that's
you-
a total bad paraphrase.
no, it's not, because you said you stacked his team. Did you not say that?
What I said was,
I would never have done that.
You guys are giving him all these players to stack his
So
team.
what? So
when
what?
when you don't look at the total team that
Whose
he's
fault is
getting.
that? Whose fault is that?
I'm telling them. I'm
Stop.
telling the
Grown
people
men. These are
what
grown
you
men.
did.
These ain't 10-year-olds.
for
These
me-
are grown men.
In fantasy football, ladies and gentlemen, this
stop.
is very good information. No, be quiet. This is my advice for fantasy football.
You're full of it, Victor.
If
You're full of it.
A trade is being consummated.
Yep.
For me, especially when I'm fighting for a playoff spot,
Okay.
I'm looking at both teams to see how balanced this makes the teams and the rest of everybody's opportunity.
No.
Now, have I voted? Have I
No.
voted against a trade because I either wanted a player or I was like, nah, I'm gonna stick it to him?
Well,
Yes. But in this case that Jerry's talking about, that was not.
Wait a
that
minute.
was not my agenda.
Wait a minute.
My agenda was
Your
to
vengeance to
look,
stop me
y'all are
getting a better
giving
team.
him Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, Pat Mahomes.
No, it wasn't.
I forget
No, it
somebody else on the same
wasn't.
team.
No, it wasn't.
He
No,
had
it
a
wasn't.
stacked team.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Matter of fact, the one that the belt that he has isn't for the team that was super stacked. It was for the team
Yeah.
that was stacked. Because he had a super stacked team that didn't pan out the way he wanted to, but he was stacking it really good. And these people were just giving him the damn players.
Wait,
And I was
look.
like, are you
But
kidding
wait a
me?
minute. Wait a minute.
So
Wait a minute.
with that being said,
It wasn't your job. It
it
wasn't
is
your
my
job.
job.
No, it's not. It wasn't.
I am a communicator. I communicate
Stop,
to the
man.
people.
You're so full of
Hello,
shit.
people.
You're so full of
I'm
shit.
not even cursing.
You're full of shit. You're full of shit.
Stop cursing. This is a family-oriented show.
You know, let me put it this way. Let me put it this way, man. Let me put it this way.
Oh,
that was a 10-year-old move. A 10-year-old move. Why are you giving him all these players when he's a grown man? I'm a grown man, and the whole league is grown men.
My fantasy advice is to look at both teams to see how it impacts the team when you're voting on that trade.
Wait a minute.
When you vote on a trade, you need to actually decide not just if the trade is fair.
Yeah,
like
if the trade is fair.
If he's getting
that's all you have to worry about.
Player for that player, in my experience,
you know, you're contradicting yourself. I'm gonna tell you why you contradict yourself.
So
okay, one of my teams was stacked. The team that was stacked with Christian McCaffrey once I got in the trade didn't win a championship. The other team wasn't stacked that well. It was all right, and I was struggling with a quarterback, and I just happened to luck up on a decent quarterback at the end.
Which one?
Wait a minute. So what you're saying? The stack team, I shouldn't have been able to bring those. I shouldn't have bring those players, even though and the trade was a very fair trade. Otherwise, you can't trade in this league if it's not fair. If they think that you're trying to take advantage of them, that ain't happening. If they think that they're getting a better deal, and I gave up players, man. Are you serious? I
gave up crap players.
Okay, hold on. You know what I'm gonna do?
No,
I'm gonna try to go back. I'm gonna try to go back.
We're gonna go into the AFC South.
Go ahead. But while you're doing that,
talk about what it is that was supposed to happen last year. Since we're still talking about what Jerry was supposed to do last year. So let's talk about the AFC South. First up to bat is going to be, as soon as I find the team. Well, looky, I got the cookie. Let's talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars, okay? Now, Jacksonville regressed, as we know, from the 2019-20 season. There were high hopes for the team, and they started out pretty good. Offensively, they were ranked 26. So what do? They brought in Jay Gruden. Well, actually, isn't a bad offensive coordinator, just a terrible head coach. Then we all know that Doug Marrone was on his last legs, and people said, you know what? We don't care about your crutches. We're going to kick him out. But the team added Laviska Shenault Jr., a wide receiver / running back. They let Nick Foles go to Chicago. So staff continuity is typically a positive element for fantasy owners to consider, but the Jaguars may be an exception. Tom Coughlin being relieved of his post as executive vice president of football operations might help, but it's worth wondering how deep the rot was spread. After all, this is an organization that the NFL Players Association advised its members not to sign with. Gardner Minshew II became a fan favorite after taking over for Nick Foles, but being a quality NFL and fantasy quarterback is about more than growing a 1970s mustache and wearing cutoff jean shorts. Provided Minshew opens the season as the starter under center, he'll run an offensive scheme by former Reds Washington head coach Jay Gruden, who was hired as coordinator. Wide receiver DJ Chark Jr. enjoyed a breakout season in 2019 and will be called upon to provide fantasy production once again. But it's key to recognize his place within the scheme. The third-year receiver will be a popular middle-round target, but Gruden's history doesn't suggest he'll be in a position to dominate targets to a degree that makes him worth prioritizing over other players in his price range. Buyer beware. And this proved to be true until he got picked up by a new team. Leonard Fournette deserves his consideration as RB1, but without former offensive coordinator John DeFilippo designing the game plan and calling plays, he's a long shot to see another 100 targets. Jay Gruden's history suggests that running back position as a whole will have a tough time eclipsing 100 looks, let alone a single bat. And this is where we get into trouble. Because last year, the team cut Leonard Fournette. They started the year with Mr. Robinson. Mr. Robinson did pretty well till the end of the season, where he got nicked up and missed some games. I believe he had over 100, more than 100 rushing attempts and things of that nature under Jay Gruden. The team flip-flopped between our guy, Gardner Minshew, and Blake Bortles. Was it Blake Bortles? It was somebody. I can't remember who it was. But they flip-flopped. When they did that, the continuity was terrible. Like the reporter wrote, you can't depend on DJ Chark to do big numbers in a Jay Gruden system, and he didn't. The rookie, Laviska Shenault Jr., was the one who did more damage, but it was spotty damage. The team was so bad that they got the first overall pick this year. Doug Marrone was fired. Urban Meyer was hired. There were tons, and I mean tons of issues going on in the organization where they started to cut players for money purposes. Urban Meyer has drafted a few people. I'm going to let Jerry talk about that stuff. But the expectation for Jacksonville was to increase on their 6-10 record. They did not. Shad Khan decided, I had enough. I'm going to give my son $25 million. He can start a wrestling organization called AEW. And AEW became a bigger draw than the Jacksonville Jaguars did last year. I'm being honest. And when COVID hit, the Jacksonville Jaguars stadium or portion of it became the headquarters for AEW. So some of the workers, in that facility still were employed, because Jacksonville is not a very rich area, but anytime the wrestling organization has a contract from Warner to produce a wrestling show and to go on air and sign these other folks, it's a pretty big deal. When you got a team trying to be relevant in the NFL. Granted, father's the owner of the football team, son is the owner of the wrestling organization, which is actually doing quite well now. Will the Jacksonville Jaguars see somewhat of the same result or similar result as AEW? For that, I go to JT. Let's go, JT.
I gave up David Montgomery.
Oh my God, we're talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're talking about the Jacksonville
David
Jaguars.
Montgomery, Tyreek Hill, and Jonnu Smith.
We're talking about
for one Christian McCaffrey. And you tell me that wasn't a fair trade. But Mr. FSP
about the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And the Jacksonville Jaguars are in rebuild mode with a new quarterback, a new running back who was a teammate of the new quarterback, and some up-and-coming young wide receivers in Laviska Shenault, an old vet and Marvin Jones that can teach these young wide receivers how to play the game and be a better wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars. My question is this. I only know of one, and I could be mistaken, but I only know of one college coach that was successful in the NFL ranks. I only know of one in recent history, fairly recent history. And that's one Jimmy Johnson. I don't know about Urban Meyer. He's made some questionable moves, Tim Tebow. This strength coach who had questionable past. So the jury's still out on how effective, even though Urban Meyer is a legend in Florida, and Tebow is also that legend, if they can make any kind of magic with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I got to see it to believe it. I don't think he's going to be too far or too long for this league.
Who, Urban Meyer?
Urban Meyer. I think.
Oh, no, I think you're wrong.
Well, Nick Saban. Who's a better coach, Nick Saban or Urban Meyer?
I'll do it this way. Nick Saban is a better college coach because he has total control and he can have kids do what he wants them to do or take their scholarships away. In the pros, he didn't have that type of control. He didn't have that type of winning ability because he couldn't just recruit top 5 talent. He had to draft, and he could only draft one at a time.
Well, let me ask you something here then, brother. My brother?
Oh, now we're going with my brother.
Yes.
Happy
Urban Meyer, does he not have total control?
Urban Meyer does not have total control because he's not.
Where did Tim Tebow come from if he doesn't have total control? Come on, man.
Listen.
Stop.
Listen. I didn't say he didn't have influence. And Tim Tebow is not guaranteed a spot.
Now he's trying to turn words.
Tim Tebow was given an opportunity to make the team through minicamp, which he's doing at tight end, not quarterback. And I get it. Yes, I feel you. Urban Meyer has some pull, but he's not the general manager. The general manager and the scouts actually worked out Tim Tebow while Urban Meyer was gone. Now, I get it. Because the head coach endorsed him prior to doesn't mean that the organization decided, hey, we're going to give you a real shot.
Really?
He might get cut before the season starts.
I hope he is. Because he's going to be, in my opinion, he'll be a distraction. In my opinion.
Well, I don't know.
Because all the attention is going to go to Tim Tebow. Oh, you made the team. What do you think? Blah, 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 blah. Come on, man.
Well, does that take pressure off of Trevor Lawrence then?
No, because the fact is, Tim Tebow, a former quarterback, not
playing quarterback.
Wait a minute, don't make a difference. He made his legend as being a quarterback. So you don't think
not being able to throw the ball.
Wait a minute. He made his legend in being a quarterback. I don't care what level. He made his legend. Understand what I said. I said legend of being quarterback. So let me put it this way. Trevor Lawrence stumbles. People are going to say, well, put Tim Tebow in there. Put Tim Tebow in there.
Gardner Minshew is the backup.
Yeah, okay.
Currently.
Hey. He's the backup. Okay. In quotation marks. Okay. You believe that. Come on, man. Come on.
You see what I deal with?
Come on.
You see what I deal with?
But I'm being real here, man. You don't think that people are going to say if Trevor Lawrence stumbles, put Tebow in there. Put Tebow.
Now, okay.
Come on, man. Stop.
Okay. With that being the case, though, let's go over the schedule to see where you think that might happen.
Jonnu Smith.
So let's go.
Jonnu Smith.
Guy, stop talking about
Tyreek Hill,
the tight end and
David
the receiver
Montgomery.
that was in a slump at that time. And Dave Montgomery ended up being a good player.
Tyreek Hill.
And listen.
Jonnu Smith.
We're not talking about your team anymore.
David Montgomery.
Well, unless Jacksonville is your team.
For Christian McCaffrey.
Is Jacksonville your team?
For Christian McCaffrey.
Let's keep going. And you got Jonnu Smith from me in a trade, but it is what it is.
Thank you very much because it helped me get to the next level. That's what.
Let's talk about Jacksonville.
That's what's
you
being
loser.
A great negotiator.
Oh my God! No, it's not.
Yes, it is. No, it is. Yes, it is.
Well, you saw that your team was garbage, so you had to make some moves. And I was trying to improve my team. I already had 2
Oh, wait a minute. You were trying to what? Say that again. You were trying to improve your team. Oh, it all comes out now.
Then we go to Jacksonville because David Montgomery and Jonnu Smith came from me, ladies and gentlemen. I will admit that. Jerry didn't have the foresight to have him on his team until he traded with me for them. And I think it was like I forget what it was, but it wasn't that big of a trade. So let's go to Jacksonville. Can we go to Jacksonville, please?
Jacksonville. Okay, we can go to Jacksonville. But hold on, let me get there.
Why are you looking up like you Stevie Wonder?
Look, I have another screen up here. So I have another. It's a 65-inch screen, so I'm looking at that screen on my PC. So
I'm glad. I just need you to answer the Jacksonville schedule that we're talking about, and not what you are talking about now.
Let me get there first. Hold on. What the hell?
Ladies and gentlemen,
what's the problem here?
He didn't need to be prepared. He said he got it all up here. That's what he told me yesterday, but he got to look up in the screen.
I got to look up in the screen to get to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So this is how we're going to run this. I'm going to wait a minute.
What?
Listen, this is how we're going to run this.
Excuse me?
I have the schedule in front of me.
That's all I asked you to go over, the schedule.
Okay, you're going to put the wins and losses as it compares to me and you.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. Here we go. Okay, the first game is at the Texans.
Oh, W.
Who wins that game?
We're talking about Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I said W.
Okay. I disagree. I think the Texans are going to win that game.
You stop smoking whatever it is you're smoking.
Wait a minute. Are we not going through the schedule saying who's going to win or lose? Are we going to debate every game?
You debated. You said I beg to differ. I think it's going to be.
Yes. I just said I beg to differ. I think the Texans are going to win a game. I'm not trying to debate it.
I just said, you stop smoking what you're smoking.
Yeah. See, that's a debate right there. I said I beg to differ.
Can you go to week 2? Go to week 2.
Home against the Broncos.
Oh, that's an L.
Home against the Cardinals.
L.
At the Bengals.
L.
Home against the Titans.
L.
Home against the Dolphins.
Surprising a W.
Ain't happening. Okay.
No.
Wait a minute. Ain't happened. I think Dolphins are going to win the game. So mark it down. Mark it down.
Down. So we both got 2 wins for them so far.
At the Seahawks.
L.
Home against the Bills.
L.
At the Colts.
L.
Home against the Niners. That's an L for me. I ain't even thinking about it. Home against the Niners. That's an L.
What week is this?
I don't know what week it is. 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Week 10.
Week 10?
Yeah.
The rookie should be playing. So I'm going to give him an L as well.
Okay. Home against the Falcons.
Julio's gone? I'm giving him a W.
Oh, hell no. They still got a powerful offense. Even with no Julio, they still had a powerful offense.
Again.
I give him that loss. I give him a loss.
Okay, you ain't got to go into all that other stuff.
At the Rams.
L.
At the Titans.
L.
Home against the Texans.
W.
At the Jets.
Ooh, W. Are you giving them the 2 W's like I did or no?
I didn't dispute you.
Okay, so you got them at 4 wins so far. I got them at 5 wins.
At the Jets.
That's the other win. I already said they got them.
At the Patriots. At the Patriots.
Are they playing the Jets back to back?
What do you mean?
The Jets twice.
No, yeah, at the Jets just once.
Okay.
And at the Patriots. Last game of the season is home against the Colts. So
I'll give them the W versus the Patriots and an L versus the Colts.
At the Patriots in New England, I'm gonna give them an L. In the cold in New England, I'm gonna give them an L.
I think by that time, either Matt Jones is playing and he's gonna want to prove that he's better than Trevor, or Cam is playing and nobody's catching the ball?
Well, let me put it this way: they're at the Patriots.
I don't care.
Florida team going to
Listen, Stephon Gilmore is sitting out. Stephon Gilmore.
Wait a minute. We don't need to go through all that.
No, excuse me. This is my show. My show. So since you're debating why I'm giving them a W at the Patriots, I'm telling you why. You're saying they're at the Patriots. It's the Patriots, and I'm telling you why I believe they're not going to. The Patriots, that is, aren't going to win that game. Stephon Gilmore is either going to get traded or he's going to sit out half the season and then come back for the other half so he can get credit. Matt Jones is going to be pushing Cam Newton. I don't know if you saw the video this past week where Cam had just got back from his hand injury or whatever, and they were doing the red zone drills. And Cam was missing everything. Jones was putting it on the money. I'm not saying number 50, that's not going to be his number. I'm not saying number 50 is going to beat Cam out for that job. But if that's an indication, when they're just throwing against air, there were no DBs, there were no linemen, there was no rush. And Cam was overshooting his tight ends and receivers on corner routes, back of the end zone routes. And I'm like, I understand you ain't been with him. Got it. Because Hunter and Jano are new to the team. But so is Matt Jones. And he's hitting them in stride. So they get 2 feet down in the end zone. And I get it. This is shorts and helmets. Shorts and shells, as they like to call it. Shorts and shells. But if you can't do that against the air, I don't know what's going to happen. That's why I think Urban Meyer is going to have a better system set up. Because, again, they've got a 2-headed backfield and some beast receivers, right? Travis Etienne, who you didn't even talk about, and you're supposed to do the current stuff and the draft picks for the team, along with your boy Robinson.
I did talk about Travis Etienne. I told
No,
me
you did not. Not in this breakdown. You did not.
I said I let Laviska Shenault and Travis Etienne, who was a teammate of Joe Burrow. You didn't hear that?
No, because you were too busy talking about Jeannot and all that other stuff. But DJ Chark is my question for you. Because I gave him 6, you gave him 4. But yep. DJ Chark, I believe he comes back to the prominence that he was supposed to be until Jay Gruden took over last year, meaning the top guy. Laviska Shenault is a very good receiver, and they use him in all sorts of ways. But I think Chark gets the rub. What do you think? Oh, Stephen Miller wants to join TSA. What's up? So Stephen Miller, the only man that got the courage from TSA to step up.
Bring him up. Bring his ass up. Bring his ass up. What's up, man? What's up? You're the only one in TSA that got the balls to come in here.
And here's the balls. Hold on. Here's the deal.
Y'all crazy, man.
Hold on. Steven is my good friend, but he ended up last in the league. So they finally kicked him out.
You won.
They finally kicked him out. You went black on us. Oh, there you go. But Stephen Miller, he brings them knowledge. Stephen Miller even just created a flyer. He even created a flyer for free to raffle off the spot. What does TSA
ain't even saying nothing? Ain't nobody saying nothing. I was like,
and people clowning him.
It's TSA, man. Come on. Give me a freaking break.
I was like, what we in the altar call? I was like, I just did it because I'm like, I just look, you know what I'm saying? Like we getting older, right? We in this thing, so like let's bring some sophistication to it. Like let's make it's enjoyable to us, right? We understand it's enjoyable. That's why we keep coming back. So let's make it more enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? And like we are fostering relationships with each other, obviously over sports, right? And so let's like kind of embrace that, especially with everything going on in society or whatever. So it's kind of like let's, but I mean, it's not my show or nothing. It's Paris' show. He do what he want to do. I just was trying to help out. You know what I'm saying, with the flyer or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying, like brand it a little bit, like, because I really did. This is one of the better fantasy football leagues I've been in. You know what I'm saying? That's why I keep coming back, from the engagement to like the competition, like all that stuff. Like, we know when football season start, we about to be laughing for until the new year. You know what I'm saying? Like, legitimately, right? So it's like, that's enjoyable to me. You know what I mean? So it's like, why not embrace it fully? You know what I'm saying? And because I mean, but some of these guys, I blame the Air Force and stuff because,
speak on it.
I don't know. These guys just don't know. Their camaraderie is a little different than other services.
Yes.
So I get it.
You are so right.
Like, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I get it. You know what I'm saying?
It's a different breed, man.
But I mean, yeah. But I think it's great. I think what y'all doing is great, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all about prosperity. I'm all about all that stuff. And I'll give it to you too. I'll give you a couple rib shots or whatever, But you know what I'm saying? Let's all eat. Let's all see each other grow, all that stuff. But you gonna catch because I hate the dead skin. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Eagles, you know what I'm saying? So we could do it,
Hey, I got that flex.
And it's all in fun. It's all in fun, man.
I got that Carson Wentz flex with the Eagles fly on it. All you gotta do is let me know. It's not gonna be cheap, but let me know if you want it. But anyway,
I don't need that, man.
It's okay. It's okay. But let me get your thoughts, because Jerry and I
know who that is, man.
We're doing a breakdown of the AFC South, and we just got finished talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars. I gave Jacksonville 6 wins. Jerry gave Jacksonville 4 wins. What are your thoughts on the Jacksonville Jaguars outlook?
How many wins did they have last year?
Like 1 or 2.
Jacksonville had 1 win.
1 win. They went from 6-10 to 1-15.
What number was they drafted? Second.
They were the first. They were the number 1 overall pick.
They drafted first.
And they got Trevor Lawrence.
I don't know, man. I want to blame. So look, right. So I think that I want to give them 7 wins, to be honest. I think
where are they getting the wins from?
Trevor Lawrence. So their offense, receivers are always been on.
You breaking up, Steven.
Yeah, we lost them.
We lost them.
The defense was the worst in the AFC South.
And I think they're going to fix that.
And the offense was the worst in the AFC South. So if you have a bad defense and a bad offense, I understand they're adding Trevor Lawrence.
There he is.
I understand they're adding Trevor Lawrence.
But listen, it's not just Trevor Lawrence. They actually went out and got some defensive players.
Yeah,
their defense is going to get better. Go ahead, Steven.
And their defense, I'm back now, but their defense wasn't ever, just think about it. Like, I mean, they had to get rid of a bunch of contracts. I don't think they really had, and I mean, depending on how you cut it, I don't think they had the right team guys, right? So you had superstar players like Ramsey and them. Like, think about the defenders they had. What's the DN they had that they shipped off to the
Khalid Campbell.
Calais Campbell went to Baltimore, and then he
was crushing the other one.
You talking about Njoku? Njoku?
Yeah, he's with the Raiders right now.
Yeah, Njoku. Yeah. So he didn't really. So I mean, I think they have a good young team or whatever. I think they can put up points. I think Trevor's gonna have the green light. And I mean, they got receivers now. Like they're no receivers are no slouch. You know what I'm saying? I think really the offensive line play will be vital. Obviously, because it didn't matter if Foles was in there when he was there or if Minshew, you know what I'm saying, they was getting ate up or whatever. But I think Trevor Lawrence is a special guy. They got him pegged to be a Hall of Famer. So he just got to go out there and perform. And I think he does have the system for people. So I think they can get to 7 wins.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, look, I saw 6. He might see 7, but I think it's possible. Let's move on to the next team.
I think we added another game too. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's another possibility to get another win. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's why I say 7.
Well, yeah, last year they were 1-15.
1-15
but the year before that, before Jay Gruden came and messed everything up, they were 6-10, and they had a good formula. Now they have a 2-headed backfield that can either one of them can tote the rock and catch the rock. They have a decent set of wide receivers, a decent tight end.
They're gonna need them.
Well, I didn't say they won't. And the defense is getting better. Like Steven said, they had to cut some contracts. It wasn't because they suck. They just had to go down to their second-tier people.
It's a deep rebuild.
It is what it is. But let's move on. Now, we can talk about, you know what? Like I said, I'm gonna save your Texans for last. Because
you can do whatever you like, man. You can do whatever you like. This is your show.
When I talk about the Texans, I want Jared Butler and Blake to come on.
They ain't coming on. They ain't got the balls, man. Come on.
They not gonna come on, man.
Yeah. Well, they got the balls.
That's y'all thing.
They not gonna
you think I'm gonna miss my words? They ain't happening. They got the freaking balls to come on here.
No, it's not that. They too clean cut, man. It's that Air Force thing, man. You gotta understand, man. They the shadow guys.
Man.
Hoopers,
come
man,
on.
Hoopers is always, like, just think about it, man. Like, just think about it. Like, Hoopers, you always, when they mess come out, it's like they slid in some DMs. Like, it's behind the scenes type stuff, right? Like, that's just what it is, yo. Like, just think about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, it's just their whole persona. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They not coming. Right. They not coming on it. You know what I'm saying? They not Shaq.
Let me do this.
Not Shaq and Charles Barkley.
I got you. So here's what we're gonna do. Again, we're gonna talk about what the team should have done last year. We're gonna talk about what they did, and then Jerry's gonna bring it up about the current or the preview of their record and fantasy relevance.
Okay.
So going into the season, this is what the experts thought. Injuries and shoddy kicking derailed the Colts' promising 5-2 start. They'll see if Phillip Rivers has enough gas in the tank to lead the Colts over the hump and back into the AFC South title mix. The biggest strength in Indianapolis remains the dominant offensive line. So at the very least, the statuesque Rivers will be protected. His weapons aren't anything to write about, but T.Y. Hilton, 30, might have another quality effort up his sleeve, and second-year receiver Paris Campbell, speaking of Paris, will have the chance to put a lost season behind him. Marlon Mack and rookie Jonathan Taylor should be expected to lead another capable ground attack. If you subscribe to the theory of backs receiving more work in the passing game when paired with stationary quarterbacks, maybe Mack and Taylor are worth a little extra. But you shouldn't overpay based on the hope or speculation of extra, which won't increase receiving work, especially with Nehemiah Hines still in the fold. By trading their 2020 first-round pick to the San Francisco 49ers for defensive tackle DeForest Buckner, the Colts signaled that they're more interested in making a run in this current window than kicking off a rebuilding effort. The deep sleeper. It's no secret Phillip Rivers has made a habit of targeting his backs in the passing game. Unless Marlon Mack or Jonathan Taylor develops as a reliable pass-catching element, Nehemiah Hines stands to benefit from his new quarterback's liberal use of the dump off. Now, with that being said, we know what happened last year. We know that the offensive line broke down. Matter of fact, their best offensive lineman retired at the end of the season. We know that Marlon Mack by week 3 was out of there. We know Nehemiah Hines was that target in the passing game. We also know that people thought Jonathan Taylor was a bust because he wasn't carrying the load like he was supposed to once Marlon Mack got out. But towards the end of the year, he started showing promise. Phillip did what Phillip does, which was throw interceptions in critical situations. We also found out that T.Y. Hilton still had a little bit left in the gas tank. Just a little bit. Mr. Pittman became more of a threat, but he was too inconsistent. Paris Campbell, he was in and out of the lineup. But that defense stayed good. That defense kept them in games, so much so that they were in the running for the division title. They made the playoffs, promptly lost, but the experiment is now over. Frank Reich went and got his quarterback, Carson Wentz. They re-signed T.Y. Hilton. Jonathan Taylor is being lauded as a top 10 fantasy back. And he hasn't even started a whole season yet. A top 10 fantasy back, top 10 fantasy player, much less back, player. Jerry Taylor has him in his top 10. Let's talk about it, JT.
All right. In the draft, the Colts drafted the first 4 picks were on the defensive side of the ball. In between that, the first 4 picks were the tight end. And then they drafted in the last 3 picks of their draft a quarterback, wide receiver, and an offensive tackle. So to me, the emphasis was on getting the defense straight because they felt they had a decent amount of offensive weapons to compete, definitely compete for the division. And with a newfound quarterback and a quarterback that's reunited with his old offensive coordinator / quarterback coach / now a head coach in Frank Reich, they're looking to take that offense to the next level, along with Frank Reich, who likes to run the football, has a back they saw to what potentially had near the end of the season. That's why he ranked so high this season, because he's going to supposedly play off what took place the latter half of last season and bring it into this season. And along with the healthy offensive line as of now, we're going to see a dynamic offense and hopefully a very improved defense, along with the first round pick Kwity Paye. Kwity Paye.
He's a monster. He's a
monster. So my outlook for the Indianapolis Colts is to compete with the Titans, and we'll talk about the Titans. Oh boy, we're going to talk about the Titans.
Well, let me get Steven's mix before we get into the records. Steven, I don't know if you're frozen or if you just like staring real intently. There you go.
No, yeah.
What do you think about what happened with the Colts last year, and what possibly do you see happening this year before we get into their record?
Yeah, I think the Colts just injuries, fatigue played a part in their demise or whatever. They couldn't really have all the guys healthy going into the playoffs. And I think maybe, some of the coaching played a part in that too, because they started to get away from like what made them dynamic. You know what I'm saying? The Hines, Hines stayed on the waiver wire, but he'll get picked up because he could be good for 3 touchdowns, right? So it's but then the next game it'll look like they get away from him, right? Then he don't have no touchdowns, right? So that's all in the game plan, and that's on the coach. This year, because I'm an Eagles fan, I need the coach to make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So that's first and foremost. And I don't foresee them not doing that and unless something catastrophic happens. It's like a major injury. I definitely think that Carson will have a MVP-esque type season. I think Frank will get him back to the basics. A very different relationship than it spiraled out with Peterson. I think that Frank will also call the right plays. And so the dump off, getting him to dump off the ball to Hines and Taylor, because that's what he wasn't doing in Philly, but he had Miles Sanders, and it's like, yo, what's going on, man? Like, you throwing interceptions and said, like, it was numerous plays, like clearly open, the flat was open to the running back, but he forced it, and it's a turnover, interception, or whatever. And so I think that's what they'll be working on. I think he has something to prove. You know what I'm saying? His ego is kind of fragile or whatever. So I think he'll go out there and have a stellar season, so we can get that first round pick from the Colts. So we can have 3 going in next year's draft. So I think he will. I think they'll. I don't think that they'll win the division because obviously who else is in there. But I think they'll definitely be a playoff team.
Okay. With that being said, JT, let's get to these games. Now, I'll do you like this, Steven. You can give us your wins and losses as well per game. So we'll do it that way, JT. Let's go.
Home against the Seahawks.
Home against the Seahawks. Win. Wait a minute. Let's get Steven.
Yeah, I think so, because I don't think that that Russell situation is fully flushed out.
All right. You got to win too, Jerry?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I don't respond with anything else, it's what you said.
Okay. Game 2.
Home against the Rams.
I like Matt Stafford. I like Matt Stafford over there, man. I'm gonna give him a loss.
I don't think the defense. I don't think the Rams defense. I mean, yeah, but other than Ramsey and Donald, I don't think the rest is holding up. Like, I think that's part of their issues too. Swapping Goff for Stafford. Stafford had always been slinging the ball, but the Lions wasn't winning because of the defense. So you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, unless like they drafted a bunch of young guys and they're gonna play lights out, I'm not sure if the Rams defense will be able to deal with the Colts defense.
Really?
So you giving the Colts a W?
Yeah.
All right.
At the Titans.
L. Steven?
Yeah, I think that's an L.
At the Dolphins.
W.
I actually think that's an L.
Oh, okay.
You said at the Dolphins?
At the Dolphins
at home? Yeah. For some reason, I don't know, the Dolphins season was sneaky good.
Yeah. At the Ravens.
Ooh. At the Ravens. And based on what Steven said, that Carson might be trying to get an MVP-like season, that tells me he's going to be throwing the ball a lot. And that's going to force Lamar to have to throw the ball a lot.
That ain't been a good situation the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a W. I'll give him a W. What you got, Steven?
Yeah, I'm giving the Colts that win. I think they eke it out.
Home against the Texans.
Ha!
Oh,
that's like a 60 burger.
That's
a W.
A question.
At the Niners.
Whoa. Oh, everybody's giving them the W? Okay. At the Niners?
At the Niners.
Ooh, they're going to San Francisco? And San Francisco getting back? Yeah. Oh, I got to give him the L. I give him the L.
I don't know. I might give them the W. I don't know. I don't think they're cornerbacks. They haven't re-signed Sherman yet. I don't think so.
No, they didn't. And the safety, both safeties were free agents as well. I don't know if they returned or not. So that's a good point. Good point.
Home against the Titans.
I think they get that one. Yeah.
I think they get them too. What about you, Jerry?
Home. If you don't see me dispute it,
got it.
Okay. Home against the Jets.
W.
Home against the Jaguars.
W. Steven?
Same.
All right.
At the Bills.
Ooh. Ooh.
At the Bills? What month is this?
I think it's November. Like? It's got to be November.
November 21st.
Oh, not Buffalo. That's an L.
Yeah, that's an L. Yeah, that's like right before Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's an L.
Home against the Bucks.
Tom Brady's going to get harassed. I think
they win that one.
Yeah, I think they get the W.
Oh, really? Okay.
Are you saying oh really as in no or oh really as
oh really? I think the Buccaneers win that.
Okay.
Tom Terrific had history against the Colts.
All right, so, go ahead. Next.
At the Texans.
Oh, they sweep them.
That's a W.
Thanks a lot, Victor.
I'm saying they are. I told you.
Home against the Patriots.
W.
Oh, that's a dub.
I got to see what you're going to think about this one. At the Cardinals.
Me? Oh, you know I'm picking the Cardinals. What you got, Steven? You got that, I don't know, look.
At the Cardinals. What week is that?
At the Cardinals.
It's probably first week of December.
It's Christmas.
Oh, Christmas game?
So,
yeah.
What is that? Week 16?
Week 16, yes.
I think that's a dub for them.
Well, no, that's week 15. That's not week 16. That's week 15. At the Christmas, and it's at the Cardinals.
I really think by that time the Cardinals are going to be out of playoff contention.
What?
Yeah.
The Cardinals winning that division, guy. Stop talking.
They might win it. Okay, well, they might win it like what, 7-9.
It is
10.
It is
7-10.
It is. We went over this, and I think we said the best record was going to be 9-8, or just barely 10 wins. I think we already did the West. But go ahead, Jerry.
Home against the Raiders. Day after New Year's.
I hate the fact that the Raiders are going to lose, but the Raiders are going to lose that game.
No, I think the Raiders might push them.
Okay, what you got, JT?
That's a tough. I like the Raiders in that game, even though Indianapolis is home. I like the Raiders. And in the last game of the season, the 9th of January, at the Jaguars.
Oh, they beat the Jags.
Jaguars be jockeying for a top 5 pick.
All right, so final tally is Steven has the Colts going 13-4. I have them going 12-5. Jerry has them 10-7.
Oh, I think that 10-7 is too low.
Me too, but that's Jerry. So
hey, it is what it is, man. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I don't knock what y'all got to say. Everybody's entitled to your opinion.
I didn't say you did, brother. I didn't say you did.
Okay, yes, you did. That's Jerry. Okay.
How's that not you? I just said
okay. Yeah.
Jerry has the coldest, driest sense of humor ever, dude.
Ever. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
That was like a backhanded slap, but that's it. That's okay.
It was
a backhanded compliment. I'm not gonna front you.
Yeah.
Y'all need to put it down.
It's very
All right, let's go on.
Man, that was good.
Let's go on to Tennessee.
Okay.
Because like I said, it's no need to talk about Houston. Houston going 0-17. We're trying to talk about Houston. Butler, Blake, I'm calling you out. Anyway, on to Tennessee.
I saw all those texts on the TSA chat. So it's okay. It's okay. The hate is there, but that's okay. That's all right.
Here we go. Ryan Tannehill finally delivered the fantasy production his supporters were hoping for during his tenure in South Beach. A better organization and coaching staff in Tennessee certainly helped, as the old change of scenery seemed to do wonders. He earned a long-term deal and will head into 2020 as the unquestioned starter in Tennessee. Derrick Henry signed his franchise tenor. Excuse me. So there's no reason to expect any holdout drama. Rookie Darrynton Evans out of Appalachian State may command a larger role than Dion Lewis, but Henry remains a foundational selection in the first round. The Titans probably don't want to ask Tannehill to drop back 40-plus times per game, but they have an intriguing set of weapons to turn into the passing situation. Second-year receiver A.J. Brown emerged as an explosive weapon with nightmarish run-after-catch ability. Jonnu Smith has flashed big play chops and will be asked to lead the tight end room with the release of Delaney Walker, who, by the way, still has not been signed by anybody. I think that will be a big pickup for anybody looking for a veteran blocking and occasional receiving tight end. Deep sleeper, and Jerry talked about this a lot last year. A.J. Brown will be the top Titans pass catcher fantasy owners consider, and for good reason. But Corey Davis should be kept within fantasy owners' peripheral vision. He posted career best in yards per catch, 14, and catch percentage, 62%, while continuing to integrate himself with teammates. Listen, we know what happened.
Yes, I do.
Thank you, Stephen. Thanks for putting that out there, Stephen. Thanks for putting that out there. Because I was going to put it out there
first. I wouldn't be surprised if they go 17-0.
But here we go. You won't be surprised if Tennessee goes 17-0. Here's the deal. There's no really big need to talk about Tennessee and what they did, how they did it. But here's what I'm gonna tell you. Tennessee stuck to their formula, and the only difference as to why they didn't get back to the AFC Championship game, Calais Campbell in Baltimore. Calais Campbell was the reason why Derrick Henry did not run all over them boys in a playoff game. Now, Jonnu Smith is gone. He's in New England. That young tight end that Jerry likes to talk about is a starting tight end. Corey Davis, 62% catching ass. That's not good enough. He's gone. You bring in Julio Jones, who has got to stay healthy. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He won't see as many double teams as he did in Atlanta. It won't be there. Because if you double team him, you take away somebody out of the box to stop Derrick Henry. Let's say you put the person back in the box. You're going to leave A.J. Brown one-on-one on the opposite side. And oh, by the way, Josh Reynolds in the slot, who can block and catch the ball as reliable number 3. So Ryan Tannehill might not have to throw 40 times a game. He might just throw 25, 30 times a game, but they're going to be big plays. A new offensive coordinator is a difference, though. Mr. Smith went to Atlanta. The new coordinator says, I've got all these weapons. I don't want to keep beating up Derrick Henry. So let me go to a 3 wide receiver set, a 3-by-1, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back who doesn't need a fullback, and spread the field. Now, I don't see many safeties coming down to go 1-on-1 with the great one, Derrick Henry. But if you got a Calais Campbell that's going to block up that hole, you might have a chance. You might. But if you got to go in a passing attack versus Tennessee, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. All right, JT, you got it. Let's go.
Okay. The mixed bag of draft picks for the Tennessee Titans. They took a first round pick in Khalid Fairley, a cornerback, because they need help, and I stress they need help on the backside of that defense. That defense allowed the most points, third most points in the AFC South. They allowed 439 points versus Houston, which was next to last, 464, and Jacksonville, which was 492. Now, that tells me that the defense isn't all that good, and they relied heavily on the offense. Well, the defense this season needs to pick up the slack. They need to be more effective. And like I said, they drafted a cornerback in the first round and another cornerback in the third round and a linebacker in a third round. And then they went to 2 wide receivers and a defensive end and a safety with the remaining amount of picks that they had. They need help. Their problem was defensive side of the ball.
Correct, the DBs. And I think the DBs or the defensive side of the ball got a boost. Why? Who did they pick up? Bud Dupree to go on the other side of the other pass rusher. They let go of Mr. Butler. Isn't that special? I'm looking for a Butler to come on the show, and the Titans let go of a Butler. Who knew?
Just saying. I'm just saying.
maybe losing is in the Butler in the Butler bloodline. I don't know. He said he's gonna come on and boost our ratings. We'll see.
Come on and catch these Father Day hands. Come on. Come on.
All right, Steven is muted and he's on and off. So let's go ahead and get into the your futuristic look as well as their draft picks.
Well, let me put it this way. I already talked about the draft picks. I'm talking about it in fantasy. I can guarantee some type of combination. I'm stacking these Titans because they're going to have a very good offense, and I want to be a piece of it. Whether it's 2 wide receivers, a wide receiver, and a running back, or the quarterback, I'm stacking these Titans.
Now, normally, I would say on the back end when we're not on air, that's something I would do, so I wouldn't give it away.
I'm giving it away. I don't care.
But I agree with you on this. The reason why I agree with you on this is because I believe they're going to open it up. And Derrick Henry's still going to be a top 4, top 5 running back in fantasy. But A.J. Brown is going to be that. He's just not going to be a bubble screen guy no more.
Who?
He's not.
Who?
A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown. I said A.J. Green. My bad. A.J. Brown isn't just going to be a bubble screen.
I just like to hear you say it again. A.J. Brown.
You a pervert, you old pervert. Anyway.
But no, I think I don't know. I think that in fantasy though, you gotta always be hunting for the next thing, you know? Because if you really think about it, like I want to say maybe it was 4 years ago when Derrick Henry was like fringe on the scene. And then he had toward the end of the year, he just exploded and he won a lot of people their fantasy championships because he was on everybody's waiver. And then so now he's been running hard 3 full seasons after that, like top of the line. So for me, it's kind of like, yeah, but I think like sometimes you got to look at these guys like I won't touch Julio Jones. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just not you know what I'm saying? Because like he's just not going to produce if you're trying to have a fantasy football championship team. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if he's there, take him, but I look more for young guys that might be, you know, cookie cutters, you know what I'm saying? Or like diamond is in the rough where like, you know, when you're willing and dealing, because you guys like to trade early. I don't really like to trade early. So I like to see guys develop. And if you can catch somebody on the back end, then you can stack the top half of your draft.
Okay. I mean, everybody has their own strategy, their own thought process, and it's all fantasy knowledge. I've been doing it since 1995, 96. Jerry's been doing it. I don't know how long. I don't know how long Steven's been doing it.
2006.
But, yeah. Well, 2096, 2006, and whenever Steven started, everybody has their own strategy. It's just a matter of what do you value. You know, Steven's talking about looking for the next young thing. He might be targeting Jonathan Taylor as his breakout back. He might be targeting Antonio Gibson as his breakout back, who probably won't go until late second, early third, maybe. But if you get him, you know you're in a good situation, although he's in a timeshare. Don't forget that. He's in a timeshare because McKissick is still there and they still want him a part of the offense. But anyway, we're not talking about Washington. We're talking about the Tennessee Titans. So, JT, Mr. Miller said he wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee goes 17-0.
Oh, that ain't happening.
Well, he said he wouldn't be surprised. So let's go down. What? Okay.
They have one of the toughest schedules going on. Home against the Cardinals.
Look, you know I love the Cardinals, right? I got to give the Titans this win.
That's a dub. It's not even questionable.
At the Seahawks.
W.
Home against the Colts. Home against the Colts.
Wait a minute. Can Steven give his analysis, please?
He said a dub.
Oh, he said dub?
Yeah. And I think, and sure, when we did the Colts, I think that's when I gave them their first loss. So that's a dub.
Okay. Game 3.
Home against the Colts.
I'm gonna give him an L.
At the Jets.
W.
At the Jaguars.
Wait. Can we let the other person give his thought?
I'm sorry.
I agree. I'm there. I'm with Jerry. If I don't speak, then I'm in agreement.
Right.
Okay. So we all gave him 3 wins so far.
At the Jaguars.
I'm trying to think. Did I give them the W this time? I'm gonna give it. Oh no, I said Tennessee sweeps them. So yes.
Yeah, I got that. So I got them undefeated at this point though. My only thing was the Colts.
Okay. Home against the Bills.
Home?
Yeah, home against the Bills.
I think that's a dub home.
Even
though Diggs is coming out a madman, but still.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I give him a W on that as well.
Well, if you give him a W on home against the Bills, then are you going to give him a W home against the Chiefs, which is the next game?
Yes, I am. Are you giving Tennessee a W versus the Bills, Jerry? Or you give him the L?
No, I'll give him a win against that because the second game is where they get their first L.
Okay, so I have them beating the Chiefs.
I have them losing to the Chiefs.
No way of stopping all of that offense.
I have them losing the Chiefs.
I don't. Okay. I'm not sold on Clyde.
Me neither.
So I really don't know what they do as for a running
back. Like I had said earlier, the Tennessee Titans' weakness was their defense. Now, I don't think what they did over this offseason improved it that well that they're able to go up against the Chiefs' offense and beat them at home. So, Pat Mahomes and company, regardless of Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I like the Chiefs.
So, in this first game, you're giving the Chiefs the win. So,
I'm giving the Chiefs the win. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Next game.
At Colts.
At the Colts, I'll give them that L, and I think that's the same thing. Steven gave them an L. What about you?
At the Rams. They got a tough schedule, man.
At the Rams, I think they'll beat the Rams. I think they'll beat the Rams.
Okay. It's the second game on the road, but okay. They go across country.
But are you giving an L or W?
I'm giving them a loss.
Okay. And I think Steven said they got a loss. That's their first loss versus the Colts.
Home against the Saints.
Oh, you know I don't like the Saints. So I'm going to give them a W.
Home against the Texans.
Sweet.
Yeah, I know. At the Patriots.
W.
Home against the Jaguars.
W.
At the Steelers.
W.
Home against the Niners.
Wait a minute. I'm catching up. Home against the Niners. Yeah, because the 49ers are coming to Tennessee. Yeah.
Last game of the season. Oh, next to last game of the season. Home against the Dolphins.
I give them a W.
At the Texans.
I said a sweep, didn't I? So, you have them 13-4. Okay. I have them 15-2, and Steven, because he's not there.
What do you think sounds more realistic?
14-3. Excuse me.
What do you think sounds more realistic? 13-4 or 15-2?
15-2.
Oh, okay. All right. They have one of the toughest schedules going.
Steven,
okay.
I got it. But Steven has them 14-3. You got them 13-4. Yeah. And I got them 15-2. So it's not that big of a disparity between all three of us. Let me call out Mr. Butler right now.
Oh, he's talking about grandfather hands and all. He can talk on the chat, but he ain't coming up here. Come on, man. Come on. I don't want to improve your ratings. He's got a high opinion of himself, I guess.
Well, click the link. That's what I'm saying.
You know about what Steven said about them Air Force guys. Oh. Oh, man. Come on. Stop. Please stop.
All right. You know, I don't even need to go over the schedule. I already told you. They're going to be 0-17, especially if Deshaun Watson's not playing. But
they're not going 0-17. They're going to win at least a couple of games. Come on, man.
2 games? You got to show me.
I said at least a couple of games.
Yeah, a couple is 2. A couple is 2.
I said at least a couple. That means there's a little bit of a fudge factor in there. Come on, man.
I understand that. So I don't think they're going to win 2 games. Period.
Okay.
But
they concentrated on
Wait a minute. Wait. So, ladies and gentlemen,
give my team equal time here, man.
I'm giving you a team equal time.
Come on.
I'm trying to give you a team equal time. So, ladies and gentlemen, last year there were high hopes for the Houston Texans. Very high. Not only did the team implode, but the head coach gave away all their next couple year draft picks. If you ask me, Bill O'Brien did it on purpose. He knew he was going out the door, and he said, screw this organization. I was working this past winter in Houston, right at NRG Stadium, right across from the practice facility. And I get it, nobody's there, stuff like that. But let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Houston has a problem. A big problem. And that was before the Deshaun Watson stuff came about. Matter of fact, I was in Houston when the first allegation was labeled on Deshaun Watson. Here's a little background for you all before I read what they were supposed to do last year. The lawyer for all of the women that are accusing Deshaun Watson of sexual assault and rape is the neighbor, literally the next door neighbor of the owner of the Houston Texans. Can't make this up. Cannot make this up.
Wait, you said the lawyer?
The lawyer that's representing all of the women accusing Deshaun Watson of sexual assault and rape is the next door neighbor of the Houston Texans owner. Can't make it up.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
What it means is
I get what are you implying I mean, I don't like all my neighbors. You like all your neighbors? That doesn't mean that they in cahoots.
What I'm implying, Stephen, is a lot of information that this lawyer just somehow got out of the thin blue air that places Deshaun with these people. Just miraculously fell in his lap. Now, you put two and two together as the NFL owners are able to find out information on players that the police, the FBI, or whatever, can't find out.
It's not that. It's not that they can't find out. Well, one thing we don't realize in this internet technology age is like a lot of the ways that people get information, it's illegal. Like that's what the problem is. It's illegal, and people don't. And people pass it around, and they don't even understand that they it's illegal. Like to forward, you know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I didn't say it was legal. I never said it was legal. Never said that. What I'm saying is that information and allegedly information given to this lawyer allegedly came from the owner of the Houston Texans. Allegedly. I can't say how. I don't know, the particulars, but allegedly that's what was floated when I was in Houston earlier this year. Now, let's talk about what the Houston Texans were supposed to do last year, according to this one reporter. Head coach and general manager Bill O'Brien is stirring things up in Houston, but not in a good way. Dealing away DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson and a second-round pick was an unpopular move with the media, franchise, and fan base, and most importantly, the quarterback, Deshaun Watson. Watson will likely drop in fantasy drafts this summer on account of his diminished core of pass catchers. There's no easy way to replace arguably the top wide receiver in the game, but Will Fuller the fifth, Brandon Cooks, Kenny Stills, and the lesser extent Randall Cobb will be asked to pick up the slack. It's certainly not an ideal situation for the two-time Pro Bowl quarterback, but don't overreact to the loss of one player, even if it's a great one. Fuller, always an intriguing, albeit vexing asset, will assume number one receiver duties and tempt fantasy owners into another roll of the dice in 2020. Health is clearly a thorn in his side, but he's able to address the root of his fragility. If he's able to address the fragility, he'll be in for a monster season. Investing in Fuller doesn't come without risk, but early indications are his price tag will be reasonable. Deep sleepers. It's not a stretch to suggest Kenny Stills will serve as Deshaun Watson's number one receiver at some point in the season. For his career, he has averaged 15.7 yards per reception and converted 59.7% of his targets. So it wouldn't be a surprise to see him deliver some useful performance as a dirt cheap fantasy wide receiver. Let's stop right there. Kenny Stills does have the talent. Kenny Stills was barely on the field. He was either a healthy scratch or he was injured. Your boy was caught juicing. Just like Jared Butler's big head, it was juiced up. And he couldn't finish the season. Randall Cobb became the number one target on that team. And rightfully so. He's dependable, runs his routes right, and he's tough. But that also left Kiki Kuti. All speed, no hands. He's he's a James Jett. Let's go back that far. A James Jett type player. David Johnson did not pan out. Let's just face it. all you Houston Texan fans. And I'm a David Johnson fan. If you don't fix that offensive line, Laramie Tunsil is a pass blocking left tackle. He's not a mauler. Unless he got a gas mask on, smoking weed. Houston's defense, piss poor. Benny Cunningham is the best player, and J.J. Watt was there too, but in and out of the lineup and got hurt and was gone. But Benny Cunningham, best thing on that defense. Period. Can't cover everybody. And what happened to that team? Tragic. Tragic. Fall from grace. I call it the Jerry Jinx. That's what I call it. Jerry knows why, because when he's with the Jets, same thing happened. But it's a new day. Not that many draft picks. Before we even go off the schedule.
Wait. You talking about the Texans?
Yeah.
But I just think that's just what they get, what they deserve. You gotta think about like the owner and like comments the owner has made in the past, and you know what I'm saying. And so like it's unfortunate for the players that kind of have no choice but to do their job or whatever. But it just goes to the larger conversation of society and how people are viewed and how certain people are dismissed or whatever, and how easy it is to do stuff to tarnish certain people's namesake or whatever. Deshaun, right? Whatever's going on with him, I don't have no dog in the fight or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? I do know from my Army days that you're not going to get accused by that many people without having did something, right? And so it might not be what they're saying, but I mean, his hand was in a cookie jar. If he, and and I say this in a clear cut way, but being in the Army, stopping in Germany, certain locations, heavy endings and stuff. Like some of that stuff was like a rites of passage when I was like a young E2, E3, E4, E5, right? But now it's like no. So, but then you look at how old Deshaun is and that lifestyle and all that stuff. That plays a role into it, but you just can't be out here just doing whatever you want to do, man. You can't just be removing your towel like what you want, like you know what I'm saying? Like certain things, like I get it, like I get like the owner probably leaked stuff or like you know what I'm saying. Obviously, somebody had to leak all the information. I really believe that the Texans probably did an internal investigation and then somehow their documents probably got leaked or whatever. Right, and so it made it easier for somebody to pick up the ball or whatever. But it's just a messed up situation all the way around. And like I feel like for him as a player, like how do you come back from that? Like this ain't the Ben Roethlisberger thing. Like you need your organization to be behind you if you're gonna come back from certain things. Like look at like Ray Rice. We ain't seen Ray Rice. Like he not the last or the first person, right? So like you need your organization to be behind you. If you're gonna get through these things, but it's just I think it fascinates me that it's always the black players that get left out to dry by themselves.
I will tell you like this, Steven, because you made a couple good points. I know Jerry's gonna jump in on that too, but the organization has already said, they stated it this week, there's gonna be a resolution before training camp. I mean, before the preseason. That's what was said. There's going to be a resolution in the Deshaun Watson situation before the preseason starts. That means sometime in July or sometime before their mandatory minicamp starts, some type of decision is going to be made. How do they know that? Either they're talking to the police, they're talking to the NFL, or internally, they decided we're not going to let it go, but so far. To have what you just said take place. I'm here in Washington State. A guy thought he killed his girlfriend for not kneeling to him, went and got something to eat in the next room as her lifeless body lays there. And only because she woke up and ran and locked herself into the bathroom and called the police is she alive. This guy is in the news for a week. Granted, the Seahawks cut him. Granted, the NFL did not ban him, by the way. They did not ban him for life. I remember when they banned Lawrence Taylor and a few other people. But he's on about his merry way. Now, is he going to prison? I haven't heard nothing about it. That's attempted murder. I haven't heard not one thing on the news about this player. But because Deshaun Watson is a star player, a quarterback, and happens to be black, it's all over. I mean, I didn't want to go down this road, but
I mean, we here now.
I know you brought up a good point. So I'm going to let Jerry talk about his team.
It's a hell of a coincidence that after he said he wanted out, all this stuff started coming out.
And that was my point. That's
a hell of a coincidence. I mean, literally, he said I want out, and literally the next day or a few days after that, we got this person accusing him of this. Oh, by the way, we have this person and this person and this person, all the way up to 20-something people. That
22, I believe, was the last count.
20-something, whatever. Once it gets past 5 or 6 or 7, the count really don't make a difference. It's multiple people that have an issue of his conduct, and now is getting investigated, I guess, by the police, and quite naturally by the NFL. And there's going to be some type of resolution. Now, somebody knows something. If you said that it's going to be a resolution by training camp. So there must be something in the works that is not made aware to the public yet that's going to take place, that it's going to resolve this. But I can almost guarantee Deshaun Watson is going to get suspended. It's all a matter of how many weeks and how severe. Let me put it that way.
Well, people keep asking, and
I want to
go ahead, Stephen. I was going to just talk about how Denver's interested in him, so they're going to trade both Teddy Bridgewater and Locke. You know what they're going to do. But go ahead, Stephen.
I just think that like the NFL, like these organizations are like secret societies in a sense, right? And so. And this is why I kind of I feel the way I feel or whatever about certain things. Like when we was talking, I don't know if y'all see when they talk basketball, they be like, Zion wants out of New Orleans, right? But then you see that the Celtics trade Kemba, and he still got time on his contract, right? And so guys will be like, and I've done it in the past. They'll be like, oh, that's good for the organization, da-da-da-da, saving money, da-da-da-da, he's washed up, da-da-da-da. And then on the flip side, they'll be like, oh, you just need to shut up and play out your contract. You signed it. You had a choice, like, right? And so it's like peel all that back and really look at the mentalities. And then one thing I'll be like, yo, I know everybody just thinks they're the best thing since sliced bread, but like you didn't just come out your mom's cooch and just have like all this knowledge, right? Like this stuff was implemented. You know what I'm saying? It was fed to you, right? So so guys just don't understand, like, if you came up playing football, Pop Warner and stuff, like, you were conditioned to team over everything, right? You were conditioned to, oh, you tough it out. Oh, you pay your dues. Like, who taught us that? who taught us that we had to pay our dues, right? But these are the things that are societal norms, right, for us. But then on the flip side, and now this is how I'm gonna tie it back to the Texans. When you look at the NFL, and then you see, and so it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because you have owners like Robert Kraft, who clearly was indicted and then got out for the same type of stuff, right? And he actually was doing this stuff, right? He actually was like, you know what I'm saying, like happy ending it, right? And so for money, right? And so we know that to be fact, but then you see, these guys are so smart because they have so much access. Then what happens? He goes quiet. Then he comes back out. Then what? He's partnered with Jay-Z. He's with Meek Mill, right? So now he's getting now it's like an acceptable thing. Like, oh no, he's doing the work. He made a mistake. But Deshaun is out here in limbo, and his whole character has been assassinated. And they all are part of the same organization. But you know what's different? We can say owner and player, but for me, the real thing that's different is black and white. And unfortunately, and with today, not unfortunately, because today being Juneteenth, actually, so this is actually fitting for today. I think even though everything doesn't have to be about race, we have to understand that everything is about race, if you want it to be or not. And so you have to kind of have a lens of that viewpoint when you assess these things, because it sucks that the situation Deshaun's in. Texans, then he got all these teammates. Like all they got to do is play football and take care of their family, right? And so now there's this cloud. You don't know if he's going to be the quarterback. Most likely, they're going to get rid of him, right? Like that's just what it is, right? And so it's kind of now he's in limbo, and it's like, dang, man, where's the player rights? Like he can't do anything. But on the flip side, all the power rests in the organization. And then here we are, the fans. We make it acceptable. Be like, oh no, the org had to do that. Oh no, the org had to ship. You know what I'm saying? Nuck off or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You shipped off all his weapons, like you broke the team down, and now you know what I'm saying, you hanging them out to dry to get rid of them.
Yep. And that's what's happening. In my opinion, I can't say that is true, but in my opinion, I agree exactly what you just said, Stephen. And this is why I have the organization going 0-17. Because if you look at the organization, they don't have a Will Fuller. They don't have possibly don't have Watson. The offensive line is in shambles. They didn't have 2 or 3 draft picks. They didn't have the money to spend in free agency. Nobody wanted to come to Houston. They lost J.J. Watt. They lost the draws to the team. I mean, there are going to be fans of the Houston Texans that show up to the game, right? But I think it's going to be more, just like in Washington, except for the past couple of years, it's changed a little bit. I think the fan base that's going to be in Reliant Stadium is going to be the away team's fans, because there's not going to be many people cheering for Houston because they have a very, very bad product. But we talked a lot about that. JT, let's go down the schedule real quick. I'm already going to put L by everything, but let's go.
Yeah, I know. That's just the type of hate I'm getting, but that's okay. That's all right.
They have nothing.
I didn't say they didn't. I just said that they're going to win at least one or 2 games. That's all I got to say.
Let's go.
All right. Home against the Jaguars.
Loss.
I got that as a win, but that's okay. At the Browns.
Loss.
Home against the Panthers.
Ooh, that's good. But loss.
Okay. At the Bills.
Loss.
Home against the Patriots.
Ooh. That might be the one you win, but loss.
Now the next 5 games are really, really tough. At the Colts.
Loss.
At the Cardinals.
Loss.
Sound like 0-17 to me.
Yep.
Home against the Rams.
Loss.
At the Dolphins.
Loss.
Home against the Jets. Oh, I'm sorry. Before that, it's at the Titans.
You know that's a loss.
Home against the Jets.
They might.
This might be the one game they literally have a chance to win.
But I think that depends on who the quarterback is.
Exactly. But I'm gonna still give them an L.
Yeah, because you say 0-17, so everything's going to be off for you.
I'm being honest. If you want to talk about the Jets have more in place with a rookie quarterback than that whole organization has. They got a running game.
Exactly.
They got better wide receivers.
Yeah.
Their defense is better. You know.
Home against the Colts.
Loss.
Home against the Seahawks.
No, they're in this dome anyway. Loss.
At the Jags.
Loss.
Home against the Chargers.
Big loss.
At the 49ers.
Smash loss.
Home against the Titans.
Loss.
So what is that?
They might could get one from the Jags and the Jets.
Yeah, they might. But I'm sticking with 0-17. But if they win, like Steven said, it's going to be either that Jet game or split with the Jaguars.
Well, I think they win at least 2 games, but that's just my opinion. But it is what it is. I know they're going to be a bad team, but I think they win at least 2 games.
All right, so.
But you got to ask yourself, so as a fan, though, if I may, though, would you want them to? Especially because I kind of feel like if you purely looking from the fan perspective, let's leave everything out. It's kind of like, all right, we didn't win with Deshaun when we had all the guys and he had the team. You know what I'm saying? So maybe we just need to start over. So winning is not a good formula when you need to make sure you can get the first draft pick to draft your next franchise quarterback.
But Steven, they don't have a draft pick, the first round or second round coming up next year.
Nope.
They gave them away.
When y'all got y'all picks again? How many picks y'all give away?
They gave away the next 3 years worth of picks, bro.
Yeah. The earliest pick we had this year was the 3rd round pick. We didn't have a first or a second. We only had 5 picks. 2 of those were 3s, 2 of those were 5, and 1 was a 6. That was it.
Oh yeah, he need to sell the team, man.
So it is what it is. I'm being realistic, and I'm thinking.
I don't see. Well, I don't know. How do you feel about the draft haul from trading Deshaun? So I guess that's the only thing they can do is to trade him and hope they get a bunch of first round picks.
Well, so, I imagine if they trade Deshaun, they're going to get at least 1 draft pick, first round draft pick back. At least they got to. They just can't give him away. I know they gave DeAndre Hopkins away, but DeAndre Hopkins is not as valuable as Deshaun Watson, a quarterback, a franchise quarterback. Franchise quarterback is gold in the NFL. And you got one that's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. You got to get at least one first round pick. And
you're talking about Denver getting them, right? That's a possibility. But so then the other issue is if Denver gets them, Denver got a nice little young squad. If they can get a quarterback, you know what I'm saying, especially on offense, right? So it's then what is that pick? The 20s, 30s? How, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think
the point is to get a first round pick. He gave multiple first round picks over multiple years. The key is to get a first round pick. I don't care if it's number 29. Get a first round pick. You gave up first round picks, so you gave up future of your franchise when you did that. And if you got them over multiple years, you got to get some type of compensation when you can get the compensation, as in trading for Deshaun Watson. So I'm saying at least a first or a second round pick, or a combination of a first and a player that's been a second round pick, or something to that effect. But one of the scenarios I can see, if they trade Deshaun Watson, I shouldn't say if, and when they trade Deshaun Watson, they got to get a first-round pick. Regardless of what level of first-round pick it is, got to have a first-round pick. Plain and simple. Well, and they're at a disadvantage for the simple fact that Deshaun Watson wants out, and Houston has to get rid of him. Otherwise, he's not going to show up. And he's just as good as not having a franchise quarterback if he doesn't show up.
And that's the thing, JT. Houston drafted a quarterback. It wasn't Kellen
Third round.
I know. So that third-round draft pick is about to be the starter in Houston. Not only is he going to be the starter in Houston, he's going to have no one to throw to and a terrible offensive line. So we'll see what happens. We're almost done here, guys. That will wrap up the AFC South. I will tell you, next week we should be able to get into more current breakdowns of teams as we go to the NFC South and have a little fun with it. I would invite Edward Perkins or James Edwards, whatever he calls himself nowadays, to come on and talk about his Crab Leg King New Orleans Saints. Somebody's going to talk about Tom Brady and the Bucks. I don't know too many Panther fans, but Allen Alexander, come on and talk about them daggone dirty birds.
They ain't coming on here, man.
Well,
I tell you, they ain't got their freaking balls. No balls. I'm yelling at no balls,
man.
Let me
talk about my Eagles real quick. Now the Eagles will be in the playoffs. Paris gonna owe me $100. The Eagles will make the playoffs.
Steven,
I really feel like we're returning the same core for our last playoff experience, and like our Super Bowl. Like we got either the same or better players. Man, watch what we do. New offense. You know it always takes the league a year to catch up.
I'm glad that.
So I think I'm telling you, you heard it here first. Philadelphia Eagles will be in the playoffs.
I did hear it here first.
I will take, if you're willing to extend me that same $100 bet, I'll take it.
As good as gold.
All right.
Oh.
Let me put a stipulation. Let me put one stipulation.
Oh, now you got stipulation.
No. Barring a multi-week injury by Hurts. So if he's out 1 week, cool. But Hurts is the quarterback on now.
Yeah.
Because if he goes out 6 weeks, you want me to uphold that belt.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Like,
okay, so
just give me a caveat.
Okay, I tell you what. I'll give you
I just need an injury clause for him.
Hey, 2 weeks.
I'll give you a injury clause. See, Jerry, this ain't your deal. Be quiet.
Stop, man. You know what? No, I gotta interject because
why?
Because
I don't have to give him injury clause.
Because your counter is BS, man.
No, I don't give him an injury clause. Did Paris give you an injury clause?
Nobody they probably didn't ask for it. I only asked for it because I know my quarterback is young. He's young, and our season is going to rest on his ability. But if he catch an injury, he out 3 weeks, then I'm gonna be out $100. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
No, I'm not gonna do that. Like, we're gonna surprise you. We're gonna jump down. Like, we got one of the easiest schedules too.
God bless you, man. God bless you.
Look at our schedule. Did y'all already go through the Eagles schedule?
No, we didn't go through the NFC East.
Pull it up. Just look.
We did not go through the NFC.
Hold on.
Oh, okay, I'll come back. Let me know. Tap in.
I'll let you know when we do NFC East.
I'll let you know when we do NFC East. I'll come back and we'll go through it. Line by line.
However, we will. However, I will give you a 2-week injury clause. That is it.
Wow.
If you don't want that, then no.
That's BS, but that's okay. That's BS.
Jerry, are you his manager?
That's BS, man.
It's
that's
BS. I got confidence in them. I'll take it. It's good.
Oh no, brother, no! Don't do that.
Deal is done. Deal is done. It is booked. I'm shaking your hand.
You know what I'm saying? I believe in my squad, man. Listen, man. We always in contention every year, regardless of what anybody say, man.
All right.
I'm looking at your schedule.
That schedule a breeze, man.
Ain't no breeze.
Wait until we
brother.
talk about it. Make sure you.
I'm looking at the schedule now. It ain't no breeze, brother. Oh my God.
Wait a minute,
no.
Check it out. So we don't forget to have Steve. We'll make the NFC East next week's breakdown.
All right.
We'll do NFC East next week.
All
right. Well, with that being said, I want to thank everybody. Thank everybody.
My neighbor, you ever have like this? What happens in my neighborhood, right? So my bad, y'all, but I just gotta say. So I sit on my porch, right? But like I got a lot of friends, like obviously because we got kids and like I got a couple of frat brothers and Army retirees in my neighborhood, right? But this is the thing we do because you'll see. I mean, I can't show you. I won't do that because my neighbor do it too, right? But like we low key stun on each other by Pat just driving by. But we won't. So like, because it's like he's like my kids call him uncle. Why did he just drive by in a new Range Rover? Like, and then he just honked like it was nothing, right? And then my neighbor, you know, he got a Porsche over here, and he bought his wife a Land Rover, and they pulled up. But you know, you can't just be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? You gotta wait until the conversation happens. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I caught him out here 2 days later. He was like, I was like, I see you got your wife in me. He's like, yeah, man, you know, it's fully loaded, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm in the suburbs. We do a subtle stunt. And that's why I yell, because I'm like, wait a minute, that's not your car. Oh, that's what y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying?
And you gotta go get you one.
It's Juneteenth, man. So I gotta go out there. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get something to match with the Audi. You know what I'm saying? Because people be messing with my stuff. You know what I mean? But
I feel you.
I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. I think what y'all doing dope,
hey, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate
y'all, man. Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm all about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about support. It's, you know what I'm saying, Juneteenth, you know, it's all about supporting. Like, I look at this is y'all black business. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta look at things in a different light and really support each other. And when it only takes like I maybe spend an hour with y'all today, I wasn't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I don't support what's on this freaking chat. There's no support on this chat, man. Come on.
But I hope that I hope I actually I win my raffle or whatever. Like, when I really look at it though, Paris can't not have me in his league. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be a detriment to the league, yo. Like, when you really think about it, like, the league is enjoyable.
You cannot come in last, brother. What can I tell you? You can't come in last.
That was a fluke. That was a fluke because it was like 3 of us that was supposed to come in last, man. And I don't know, like, it was crazy. You was right there, man.
I know.
Right there. I was like, dang, man. I thought I was good, but then I caught all them injuries. I was like, oh my gosh, it's over with. Like, I knew I caught too many injuries, man. Miles Sanders, he wet the bed, man. I was like, dang.
It was all over, brother. But check it out. Losing you and Perkins, that means it's gonna be a little quiet. Ain't too many people gonna be jumping on me and Jerry.
Well, I ain't hating about losing freaking EP. He can go.
Perkins funny.
He's straight trash anyway. He's straight trash anyway.
I just don't like. I think like I don't. But I will say this, and hopefully I say this the correct way. But like, I don't think you have to stop supporting to do other things, if that makes sense.
No, you don't. You don't.
So,
it's just,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, I get them dropping out or whatever, but I mean, like, it's a fun league, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. All I can say is thank you for joining us. This is, I think, your second or third appearance.
Yeah, I appreciate
I greatly appreciate that. Tomorrow, JT, what you got going on the master plan?
You know what? I'm going to talk about injured players. And the fact is, people have high expectations of these injured players when they shouldn't. Because the fact is, they have to look at the player They have to look at the injury and how effective that player is going to be starting the NFL season in fantasy.
So you digging at Saquon, huh?
Absolutely.
I knew you were.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, people, and I'll say it again. I've always said it, and he knows I've always said it.
I'm about to end the stream.
Pay attention to the stats. Don't pay attention to the player. Pay attention to the numbers.
You done?
I'm done. Whatever. You want me to be done? I'm done.
Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I'm going to talk a whole bunch.
I know you would. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the master plan. You can find it on blogtalkradio.com/VICHBK.
Ain't nobody hearing it because you screwed up.
But it's on Facebook. This is on Facebook.
I thought there was
not on Facebook.
I thought it was on YouTube.
It's on,
you don't even know where you're at.
I'm gonna put this on.
You don't even know where you're at
on Facebook.
Okay.
All right, so we're about to get out of here. No music, no nothing like that. We're just out of here. Thank y'all for showing up.
See ya.
On this channel. We're out. Bye.
Bye.